Okay, today I'm going to be showing you how to change a PDF into an interactive worksheet using Google Slides. You can also do this with hard copies as well. So to start with, you're going to want to pull up your PDF file that you're going to be working with, or if you have a hard copy, you can take a picture of a worksheet that you have to be able to make that interactive as well. So if you've gone to like Teachers Pay Teachers or something like that and purchased something and you're not sure how to use that with your students because it came out in a PDF file, and now that we don't have our students to be able to make copies and hand them to them, if you want to make an interactive slideshow, it's pretty simple with Google Slides. So I'm just going to take this one. I wanted to use a math example today. And if you want to use one of the pages out of the document, you need to get it where you can see the whole page on your screen. So you're going to zoom out. On my Chromebook, I'm going to have to go up here and change my zoom up here so that I can see the whole page. So it's not cutting anything off. I need to see the whole page at one time. I'm going to go back up just a little bit. Okay, I think I can see the whole page here. I want to make sure that I don't cut off these credits down here, because if you're using something that someone else has created, you do need to give them credit for their work. You can't just take their work and give it to your students as if you created it. So you want to make sure that you give them credit and that it's only being shared with your students and nobody else. So I'm going to do a screen capture of this. So to do that on your Chromebook, if you're doing it on the Chromebook, you're going to push Control Shift and the button above the 6 that is the square with the 2 lines beside it. It's going to give you this little screen grabber right here, and you can just select what all you want to take a picture of. So we're taking a picture essentially of our screen right here, and it's going to save it into our downloads. So this is what was taken on our picture. So now we're going to go to a new Google document. And the first thing we want to do after we have downloaded our PDF as an image file, now we need to change our page setup. So we're going to go up to File, and we're going to go down to Page Setup. Now the reason that we need to change this is the worksheets are going to be in a copy size, so 8.5 by 11. So we need to change our page setup. We're going to go down to Custom, and we're going to change our size to 8.5 by 11 and apply that. And now it's going to be the shape of a regular copy. You can delete the text boxes off of there or just click on layout and change it to blank. And then now we're going to go to background, and instead of a background color, we're going to choose an image, and we're going to make our background the image that we just downloaded. So we're going to be browsing for our downloads. So I'm going to click on Downloads, and then you can see the screenshot that I just took. And now it added that in as the background. So the students cannot change this. They can't delete it. It's on the background. So now you could go in, after you have it on there as the background, you could go in and add in any shapes or icons, text boxes, things like that that you want students to use. And you can put it out here in this workspace, and the students will be able to drag it onto your document if you want them to do that. On this particular one, it's pretty much zoomed out right now. So I'm going to zoom in a little bit on this so that you can see it a little bit better. On this one, you could have them just add in shapes if you wanted them to. So you could have them add in a dot for where they're graphing on this particular style. So you can instruct them however you want. You could also add in directions to this if you want to. So if you wanted to add directions, you could even put your directions in a text box or a shape out to the side. So if you wanted to add directions over here, you could easily do that, and then it doesn't take up any of your worksheet space. On this next step, you can have students add in lines to graph these coordinates down here. So when you add in a line, you have different line tools that you can use right here. If you just add in a straight line, you can click where you want your line to start and where you want your line to stop. So let's say if it was to be graphed to here, it would add in a line. Now that line's going to be black, so you're going to want to give instructions for your students on something like this to then change the color, and then we can also change the line thickness so we can see it better. So your students can start creating their graph directly on this interactive slideshow by adding in lines. again, I'm going to change my line weight to 3 and change my color. And I could just continue on with this as I continue to create the rest of the snowflake that these coordinates are asking the students to graph. Obviously, the students that would be doing an activity like this should be skilled enough to be able to add in the lines and change the colors and that have those kind of skills. If you have younger ones and you're doing a simpler activity, you may want to add in circles for the dots if you're going to be doing dot coordinates, or add in the lines that they can just drag and drop to where they would want to, where you would want the things to go for a similar type of activity if you want to scale this down to a younger age group. So I hope this helps. These are some simple tips on how to take a PDF or a hard copy and turn it into an interactive worksheet that you can then give to your students digitally. One tip I would definitely have is when you assign this on Google Classroom, definitely make it so that each student gets their own copy so they're not editing directly on your copy. Enjoy creating interactive worksheets. Bye.